Hello, my name's Edgar Ochoa. In this video, I'll be going over the naming nomenclature for LDTs. There are three areas of focus when saving an LDT. After clicking Save, you will get the following three windows. The first window asks for description of the LDT that has been created. We will add the description in the area circled in red. The next window will have an option for symmetry management. The option for Not Required will always be selected. In the last window, you will add the name of our LDT in the area circled in red. We will go over some examples on how to name different types of LDTs. First example will be a relative LDT using a standard hole on a handed part. Refer to the video Handed versus Non-handed part for a refresher on a definition of what a handed part is. We will be using W75-4118 for this example. In the description box, we will add the size of the hole, followed by the word hole after the size. For this example, the diameter of the hole is 0.188 inches. Therefore, in the description, we will do 0.188 inches followed by hole. After clicking Next, we will get the Symmetry Management box. There, we will make sure that the option for Not Required is selected. Once we click Next on that dialog box, we will get the box to save the LDT. Here, the file name will consist of the last four numbers of the part, followed by the size of the hole, adding H for hole, and for handed parts, we will add a 2 at the end of the file name. Therefore, for this example, our file name will be 4118, the last four digits of the part, dash 188, the size of the hole, H for hole, and since it's a handed part, we add the 2. And then we click on Save. This has been how to save a relative LDT on a handed part. For the next example, we will be saving a relative LDT on a non-handed part. We will be using W75-2126 for this example, and we will be creating the holes for the pony tube attachment, both when it comes from the bottom and when it comes from the top. In the description box, we will be adding the size of the hole, followed by hole after the size. The hole diameter for these examples is 0.188 inches. Therefore, in the description, we will put 0.188 followed by a hole. After clicking Next, we will once again get the Symmetry Management box, which we will make sure that the option for Not Required is selected. Once we've done that, we then move on to naming the LDT. The file name will consist of the last four numbers of the part, followed by the size of the hole, adding H for hole, and adding 2 if the attached part is from the left or the top, and a 1 if the attached part is from the right or bottom. Now, if we go back to our fabs, we can see that on the fab on the top, the pony tube attachment is coming from the bottom, and this fab on the bottom, the pony tube attachment is coming from the top. So on this window, we'll be saving the attachment that's coming from the top. Therefore, our file name will be 2126, which is the last four digits of our part, dash 188, the size of the hole, followed by H and 2, since the attachment is coming from the top. Now, for when the attachment is coming from the bottom, the file name will be 2126, which is the last four digits of our part, dash 188, the size of our hole, followed by H for hole, and 1, since the attachment is coming from the bottom. This has been how to save a relative LDT on a non-handed part. For the next example, we will be saving an absolute LDT. We will be using vertical W75, 5691 as the example, and we will be saving a chicken head notch. More specifically, this 2 7/16 inch win load notch. In the description, we will add the size of the notch, add if it's dead load or win load, add CK/HT for chicken head, add the word notch, and add if it's on the left or on the right. Therefore, for this example, our description will be 2 7/16 inches win load CK/HT notch at R. Once we click next, we will get the symmetry management box, which we will again make sure we have the option for not required selected. After that, we move on to naming the LDT. The file name will consist of the last four numbers of the part, followed by the size of the notch, adding D for dead load or W for win load, adding N for notch, and adding L for left side and R for right side. Therefore, for this example, our file name will be 5691, the last four digits of our part, dash 244, the size of our notch, W for win load, dash N for notch, and R for right side. Now, the reason for why our size is 244 is because we always write our size to three digits. 2 7/16 is 2.4375. So if we round this to use three digits, we get 244. Now, this has been how to save an absolute LDT on a vertical. For our last example, we will be saving an absolute LDT on a horizontal. We will be using W75, 32, 39, and we will be saving the notch to clear the vertical. In the description, we will put the size of the notch, adding notch after size, and adding if it's on the left or on the right. Therefore, for this example, the description will be 1 1/4 inches notch at L. After clicking next, we once again get the box for symmetry management, which will make sure the option for not required is selected. After clicking next, we then move on to naming the LDT. The file name will consist of the last four numbers of the part, followed by size of the notch, adding N for notch, and adding L for left side or R for right side. Therefore, for this example, our file name will be 3239, the last four digits of our part, dash 1 dash 25, which is 1 1/4, N for notch, and L for left side. And then click save. This has been how to save an absolute LDT on a horizontal. Now, as a refresher, the description will consist of adding the size of the hole or notch, adding hole or notch. For chicken head notch, use CK/HT, adding at L or at R for the appropriate side, and adding if it's dead load or win load. The file name will consist of the last four numbers of the part, adding the size of the hole or notch, adding D for dead load or W for win load, using H for hole or N for notch. adding R if it's on the right or bottom, adding L if it's on the left or top. Reference video to see how to review and edit the machine locations from Edit Whole Location Table for a further explanation on which side the hole or notch is coming from. For relative LDTs, we add a 1 or a 2 at the end of the file name. If it's a handed part, we'll put 2 at the end. If it's a non-handed part, we put a 2 if the LDT is used for the left or top side, and 1 if the LDT is used for the right or bottom side. Now this has been the naming nomenclature of LDTs.